today's layout, I'll be using this kit that my friend T gifted me for my birthday, Craft with T, and I will put a link to her channel right about here. This beautiful kit features one canoe 2, and I believe it's from scrapbookingwithme.com. I'm not 100% sure. So I'll be using this paper pad, which is I believe 6x8, and I'll be scrapping these pictures of my sweetie pie, my Lily bird, and I'll be using these fish, and they're the Pets 2, Paradise 1, and Paradise 2. So this paper is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you saw that one that I just showed you, but look at those flowers. Gorgeous. So I'm picking out some of the papers, and I end up going back and picking a couple more as this process, this page progresses. So it is beautiful. It has gold foil, not gold, I'm sorry, rose gold foil, and it's just gorgeous. So I'm going to trace my fish, and at first I trace all three of them on each paper, but I don't know, I didn't like the way it looks, so I don't end up using everything I cut out, but I do save them in my sleeves with my templates, so that if in fact later on I need them, I've already got them cut out, you know, as long as they match. So just want to say a quick thanks for sticking with my channel. It's been a crazy 2 months. I have been to Florida and back twice. I had a death in the family, and in the middle of all of that, I also had our family vacation planned, which these pictures are from that family vacation. And we really didn't go anywhere far. We were down the shore, like we call it here in Jersey, in one of the beach towns, and we had a really good time. And you'll see more pictures, and as I scrap our trip and different, also my trip to Florida, which was right in the middle of Hurricane Dorian. I was in Fort Lauderdale, so we were prepping for the worst and hoping for the best, and luckily for us, we dodged a huge bullet. So I cut out from Aspen Court, and I used Aspen Court 1B, 2B, 1A, and 2B out of that vellum, and I cut them out and made them look like waves. And as you can see, I've already adhered it to my paper, which this paper is really old. It's from Webster's Pages, Megan Hoppener, and it was, it's called August. But it's a really pretty blue paper that is ombre'd from dark to light. So here's where I'm figuring out where my fish are going, and at this point I have already cut out my other fish from different colors, so instead of having 3 of each, you can see that they're all different colors and different patterns, and I'm not really concerned about seeing the glue spots on the vellum. They look worse on video than they do in person. You really don't really notice it that much. So and that's just part of working with vellum. I do ink most of my fish with my distress ink with hickory, called Hickory Smoke, which that's my go-to ink. I'm more of the gray tones than the browns. Not sure why, but that's what I usually gravitate towards. So this paper is so pretty. As you can see the foil there, it is absolutely gorgeous. So I really enjoyed thinking outside the box and making a layout that was a little different than what you'd normally make with the borders. I wanted it to look like water, and I felt like the vellum was just the perfect touch. And make sure to stay to the end. You'll see the close-up pictures of the layout, and it is absolutely adorable. I really love how it turned out. And it was definitely a struggle because it was my first layout that I was creating after probably a month of not being able to create anything. So, yep, so now I'm gluing down my little fishies with my Tombow permanent adhesive. And I purchased these at Michael's with coupons. And as you can tell from this, every time my head pops up, it's a completely different color than it was about a month ago. So it is me. I'm just blonder now. So those are my pictures of my Luli. And this was like an amusement park game, and she had to catch 3 fish, which obviously you're going to catch 3 fish. The trick is that each fish weighs differently. So the way everyone wins, it's just a matter of what you win. So the more your fish weigh, the better your prizes. So at this point, she had won, her fish were very heavy, and she had won the large prizes. But she didn't want anything from the large prize. She wanted something from the really tiny prizes. And she ended up picking a little unicorn pillow. Like, it was like a little stuffed animal pillow looking thing, which was probably about like 6 inches tall. I mean, it was tiny. But you know what? She was happy with her tiny little unicorn. She didn't want the 12-inch stuffed animal. And, you know, that's just, you know, how kids are. And they let her pick out the fish she wanted, and she was a happy little girl. So stay tuned. I will have some new content this week. This is my first video. I have another one that we'll be posting on Friday, and that is a video specifically using and only using the July kit from Kiwi Lane, and I really love how it turned out. I didn't use anything other than what was in that kit because I wanted to show you guys that really that's all you need. If you can't afford to invest in all the templates, just doing the kits, you can definitely stretch them out and do beautiful work with them without having the expense of buying a lot of templates. I get it. I was a mom, you know, 3 little kids at one point, and we couldn't afford anything because, you know, they take up all your money. But now they're all grown up, so now I get to spend my money how I want to. So I'm adhering my pictures to some tissue paper, and I like the look of the tissue paper because it still gives me a little separation from the background. And I also mounted it on a piece of paper from that One Can Do Too paper pad. I'm sorry. It's like first time recording and I'm forgetting my words. So yeah, so we had a really great time. We were in Wildwood, New Jersey, and that's a very beautiful beach town. It has about, I want to say, and I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it's 5 miles of boardwalk. And it's like the old-fashioned style, you know, wooden boardwalk. And it has 3 piers. It was actually voted #1 amusement park in the state of New Jersey. It has a gorgeous, gorgeous Ferris wheel. I mean, I don't do rides, so it's gorgeous from down below that I get to see it, you know, while I'm looking up. And I will be scrapping pictures of that as well. It's beautiful, breathtaking, but there is no way I'd get on it. My daughter did, but no way I'd do it. So I'm trying to tuck my pictures in behind my fish, and you see me talking to my friend T here. My friend Craft with T lives in North Carolina, and we usually scrapbook together via either Skype or Google Hangouts, and we've been doing this for years. It used to be 3 of us, but my friend laid us since she has passed away, and we miss her all the time, and but we still keep in touch, and this was like the first time that we were scrapping together in about a month and a half. And I'm just going to take a picture of my layout because I want to sometimes when you I'm actually sending it to T. I wanted her to see where I was. Sometimes when I take a picture of the layout, I will see that there's something else I want to do to it. As you can see, I'm going to stick my layout that you see there, and I'm going to stick it onto this background. And the reason why I had to cut it down was because the vellum I had was only an 8.5 by 11. So, clearly I was going to have a little shortage, and my vellum was not going to, reach the edges of my paper. So that's where I ended up using that colorful paper, which is also by One Canoe 2, and it's from the Saturday Afternoon collection. So here I'm again nestling my pictures, and I'm going to, and here's where I get my bright idea that I needed to add a little pizzazz to it. So I have this stencil that is by Paige Taylor Evans, and you can find her online. She has a really cool Facebook group, and she's always giving away cut files for free. And she has these stencils, and I'm using the Dazzlers from Shimmers in Sponge Sugar, which is, it's kind of like a paint, but it's a thicker consistency. So it works really well when you use stencils or anything that is going to, that you want to have a little dimension to it. And it's also like it's white, but it also has a beautiful like holographic shine to it. I guess that would be or pearlized. Maybe that's the right word. I do end up smearing it a little, which I was a little upset about, but you really don't even see it in the end pictures, as you will see. So it dries really quick. I think it took like 10-15 minutes for it to dry. You definitely want to go wash your stencil and your spatula and whatever you use for it. And actually here I think is where I mess it up. But whatever, nothing is, I'm sure that if somebody else saw it, they wouldn't even notice, but I notice, and I was a little hard on myself, but it is what it is, right? So I'm getting close to the end of this video. I think I do cut out the part where I do my final touches to it, adding some ephemera to it. But I just wanted to say thank you for sticking by. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to reaching my next 500. Oh, there's dinner. I'm really looking forward to reaching the next 500 subscribers and reaching my 1,000, which is my next goal for my crafty video making thingamajiggy. I don't even know what to call it. But yeah, so I am going to keep playing with my picture, still trying to figure out where I want to put it. And I think at this point I am going to use some foam to pop up my picture so it gives it a little dimension, and it'll have a nice shade in the background. And I just use Fun Foam, and this is the kind that has adhesive on one side. You can find it at Walmart or Target. I can't tell you if it's lignin free or archival safe. What I can tell you is that as long as it doesn't touch your pictures directly, it should be fine. I'm using the One Canoe 2 date stamp, and I am using the ink that came in the kit, which is like a rose gold, and it's so pretty. So I'm not really good at using these things, so you will see my face and probably my head, and I actually got it right the first time. So we're just going to tuck that in right there, and I'm using the Hip Kit Club Go Fish, which the colors work perfectly. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that I've inspired you to think outside the box a little bit, because you definitely can make beautiful layouts without a lot of pressure and spending a lot of money. Thanks again. Have a great night. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave me a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Oh, and before I go, that's some Heidi Swapp Color Shine in the beautiful blue color. Absolutely gorgeous. Love it. Make sure to stop by T's channel too. I'm sure she'll appreciate some love from you guys. She is pretty awesome and an amazing card maker. Have a great day. Thanks a lot.